Today I messed up by forgetting that my AirPods were connected during an important Zoom meeting. So this happened earlier today and I still want to crawl into a hole. I work remotely and we had a big Zoom meeting with several higher ups in attendance. I was only listening in, so I muted myself and I decided to grab a quick snack from my kitchen. My AirPods were in and I was still connected to the meeting while I rummaged through my cabinets. Now my dog has this habit of sneaking into the kitchen whenever I open a bag of chips. So as soon as I ripped open a bag, I whispered, "You sneaky little bastard, I see you." Except I wasn't whispering to myself. I was still connected to the meeting. That is so funny. "You sneaky little bastard, I see you. You're fired." I didn't realize anything was wrong until I heard dead silence, followed by my manager saying, who are you talking to?" "I'm talking to you, manager." At this point, I froze. I checked my screen and sure enough, the little green microphone icon was on. I panicked and blurted out, my dog." Cue awkward laughter from a few people, but I could tell some of the higher-ups were not amused. One of them dryly said, "Let's try to keep the side conversations to a minimum." Wow, come on, have a sense of humor. Like, that's so funny. How could they not laugh? The worst part? The meeting was being recorded for future reference. So now my little outburst is officially immortalized in the company history. Oh, that's amazing. That's so funny. And thank you for writing this post, OP. That is so funny. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. I felt like doing something a little bit different today. Nez is walking around all cute, but she doesn't want to sit in the basket for whatever reason. But I'm sure she'll come around. But yeah, we're reading today I Messed Up stories today because they're so fun, and I felt like reading something fun. I'm a damn creature of habit, as I'm sure you guys have realized, but I'm trying to tell myself, hey Vince, you can't read Am I the A-hole in every video. I have to do something different. If you do have any video ideas, let me know in the comments, everybody. I'm definitely trying to think about more fun stuff that I can make videos about. But for today's episode, let's read some Today I Messed Up. Today I messed up by asking my girlfriend to be more vocal in bed. Okay, I already know this one's gonna have some bleeps in it. So this one's a pretty simple Today I Messed Up that happened years ago, but it still lives in my head rent-free. I was in college and dating this girl who was a little bit more on the introverted and shy side. We had good sexual chemistry, but she tended to be very quiet during sex. I, like most people, like it when my partner lets me know that they're feeling good, so I started to ask her to be more vocal during sex. At one point, this conversation took place. "Me, I would really like it if you let me know when I'm making you..." Her, what am I supposed to say? Me, I don't know, whatever comes to mind. I'll just enjoy you letting me know when it's happening. Fast forward to the next time we're doing the deed. She's being very quiet, but I can tell she's getting close. I can see her getting wound tighter, but getting ready to say something. What are they gonna say? And why do I feel so nervous about finding out what they're gonna say? I'm very much appreciating that she's about to do what I asked, and then she says it. Bombs away! Oh my god, that's amazing. Bombs away, buddy. All the heat of the moment was entirely lost on me as the intense romantic immersion was shattered. What are you talking about, OP? You're telling me you didn't like it when she said bombs away? That's amazing. Afterwards, when I asked her to please never say it that way again, she obviously replied, "Well, you said I could say anything." We eventually broke up. Oh no. For, believe it or not, overall communication issues in the relationship. Edit, I was trying to keep the story brief, but I should have clarified that we did laugh about it, and it became a running joke in my "please don't ever say that again," as well as her response was said while we were both giggling. Yeah, like this comment says, "And boom goes the dynamite." I like this comment too. I would have burst out laughing and told her to brace for impact. The comment below that says, "Why did you break up?" That was the perfect excuse to yell, "Here comes the dynamite," the next time that you were intimate. And the comment below that says, "She sounds hilarious." Yeah, that was so fun to read. I'm happy that in the edit you did say that you laughed about it though, OP. And it became like a funny running joke. Because I was gonna say, did you not laugh about this? That is the funniest thing ever. Everything's going good, it's about to happen for her, and she goes, "Bombs away." I love that comment that says, "And boom goes the dynamite." Oh my god, maybe Jin wants to sit in the basket? Is he gonna leave in 25 seconds? Or are you gonna stay, you beautiful fella? Hello, buddy, he's so beautiful. He's thinking about it, he's thinking, can I stay here? Should I leave? Am I gonna sit down? Oh my god, he's sitting down. I'm so proud of him. Good job, Jin. I need to buy a lottery ticket or something. Today's my lucky day. I feel honored and I feel chosen by Jin. This is beautiful. Today I messed up by having an itchy butt for 11 months. I love how these titles are so random. Maybe not random, but like how they're so different from each other. Like, where's this story gonna go? I had a vasectomy in January of 2024. Okay, so That's not your butt. A few days after the procedure, my butt started itching uncomfortably and unceasingly. At first, I thought it was a side effect of the procedure. Unless they did it very wrong, I don't think so. Maybe I was reacting to the bandages. Maybe it was the non-stop sitting as I recovered. Or maybe I itched because I didn't shower for a few days post-op. But I recovered and I got back into my normal routine and the itching continued. Please don't tell me this is something really gross. I tried everything, short of consulting my doctor. It's embarrassing to tell people that your butt itches. Yeah, okay, I understand that, OP, but you shouldn't worry about that sort of stuff with a doctor. Their job is to figure that sort of stuff out, OP. I started showering twice daily. I outfitted all of my toilets with bidets. I even tried a few different types of creams and ointments, and nothing worked. I googled my symptoms and I got a variety of results. Some sites suggested that I might have hemorrhoids or pinworms or some other butt-related ailment. One helpful forum simply said, "This happens when you turn 40. Your butt starts itching. You just have to deal with it." What, like the second that you turn 40? Happy birthday! Here's an itchy butt. I resigned myself to having an itchy butt for the rest of my life. You just accepted it. That is so funny. Like, yeah, whatever, I guess this is my life now. Then over the holidays, 11 months into my affliction, I was scratching my itchy unmentionables and I had a thought. When I had my vasectomy, I followed my doctor's instructions and I wore some tight briefs for a few days. Those briefs became a part of my laundry cycle and I wore them regularly. Looking at their tag, they were 20% spandex. Turns out that spandex is a pretty common allergy. Right, so you were allergic to the spandex. That's so funny, and it's not the way that I expected this to go. I threw the briefs out and the itching stopped within a few days. I'm now itch-free and I'm never wearing spandex again. I was resigned to the idea that I was going to have an itchy butt for the rest of my life, and now I can live a clear, itch-free life again. That is so unbelievably funny. Mainly the part where OP just accepted it. They were like, okay, I guess I'm going to live with this forever. This is my life now. I'm itchy. I can't believe Jin's here. He loves a little back scratch. OP's reasoning about this is the funniest part though. Like OP's refusal to go to the doctor because they were embarrassed for what I'm assuming was like a pretty long time. Yeah, my butt was itchy for 11 months. OP refused to go to the doctor for 11 months, but then also OP read a random article on Google that said, oh, once you turn 40, this is what happens, and they believed it. The top comment says, I promise that your doctor has definitely heard worse than my butt itches. Yeah, that's such a funny part of this. Oh no, I can't tell my doctor that my butt itches, but Google does say that once you turn 40 that your butt just itches. So I guess I'm gonna be itchy forever. The next one says, today I messed up by buying what I thought was coffee creamer. Okay, so as an Australian, I have no idea what coffee creamer is. Google, what is coffee creamer? Coffee creamer is a store-bought powder or liquid product, often dairy-free, used as an alternative to milk or cream to add to coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, typically containing sugar, oil, and thickeners. It's a substitute for milk or cream, enhancing the taste and texture. Yeah, that sounds good, and I've never had that before. Oi mate, I'm Australian. I don't know anything except the beach and kangaroos. That's what I feel like at the moment. For context, I'm an absolute sucker for anything with a seasonal flavour. I make apple cakes for family using boiled cider in the fall. It's not available pre-made in my country, so I reduce fresh, unfiltered apple juice for about 3 hours with some spices until it's about a honey consistency. I added it to a coffee and cocktails just to see what it was like. It's fantastic, and I find myself craving apple coffee often, but I'm not willing to spend 3 hours simmering down juice. I've found a few coffee houses where I can get apple lattes. They're only available from September through December, and thus not in prime iced coffee seasons. A tragedy. So I bought a few pre-made syrups and they were all disgusting. Either sickly sweet, too artificial, or uncomfortably tart. And then I turned 40 and my butt started itching. Imagine my joy when I found out that my favourite fake milk brand made an apple creamer that was actually good. Really, really good. Unfortunately, it's hard to find and it disappears by mid-November. Plus, the bottles are pretty small. It lasts until February though, so I tend to stock up. Now it's mid-February and I've just finished my last bottle of creamer. I decided to try my local grocery outlet, a chain that mainly sells food that's overstock or out of season stuff. I find my creamer and it's in a big bottle. I've never seen this size before, but maybe it's like a Costco size. Okay, I have no idea where this is going, but I'm so invested in the story. So's Jin. That's why he's still here. I buy 3 bottles of it because it doesn't go bad until June. I happily make my daily iced coffee and I drink it as I do my morning activities. It's delightful, and I keep doing this for a few days, sometimes even making a second coffee because this batch is better than normal, until one morning I skipped breakfast and while painting, I realized that my hands are shaking. Ah yes, too much caffeine. I shrug it off as just one of my mental health issues acting up until it happens again and again. When I go to throw out the first bottle, I look at it again as I peel off off the label to recycle the bottle. It's not creamer, it's a pre-made latte. I've been adding coffee to my coffee. Where normally I add creamer, ice and water to my Keurig small setting, I've just been adding this in ice because it isn't as sweet and it doesn't need watering down. I've been at least doubling my caffeine intake. Yeah, that didn't really go the way that I was expecting it to go, but at least you figured it out, OP. Yeah, like this comment says, on the bright side, at least it was just extra coffee. I really thought you were going to say that it was apple flavored alcohol instead. And then I was even more concerned about your shaking hands. Yeah, 100%, and at least you realized it. And I now know what creamer is. You learn something every day. The next one says, today I messed up by remembering a regular's order. I work at a popular coffee shop in Canada, and I have been for the past 2 years. Most customers who come here a lot don't have to order because we already know their order. One guy who comes in orders something distinct and was very nice to me when I first started. His order was the first one I memorized. For example, he orders a large and a medium coffee, but sometimes would just get the large. He came in today for the first time since I started working again from quarantine. I told his order to the girl working the counter with me listing the large and medium coffees, but he ended up just getting the large. Afterwards, my manager told me that he wasn't getting the medium anymore because it was his wife's order and she'd passed away. Oh no, that's so sad. Oh, once again, that didn't go the way that I expected it. But yeah, that's so sad, and there's no way that you would have known, OP. The top comment says, honestly, it may have made him a little bit sad, but at the same time, it's nice that somebody remembered his wife even in a small way. Yeah, that's right, and there's no way that OP could have ever known. So it's not like you messed up, OP. Oh, the poor guy, that's so sad. The next one says, today I messed up by sending a vibrator to my grandmother. Yeah, I don't want to read that, but I'm also very intrigued. This involves multiple mess ups and it happened a year or so ago. I bought a present for my grandmother from a website for her birthday. All went well. She got the present and she was delighted with it. Oh, I don't want to read this. A few months later, I used the same website to order a vibrator, but it never arrived. I called customer support to complain and they went over my order, including making sure that they had the correct address. It was then when I'd realized I'd sent the vibrator to my grandmother as her address had been saved as the default one from the previous order. Oh my god, that's so funny. This is so uncomfortable. I called my grandmother to ask if she had received the package. She said yes, she had, but she gave it to my dad because she thought it was a toy for his cats that I'd sent to her house by mistake. Now, I don't know if my grandmother honestly did not know that that was a vibrator and really thought it was a cat toy. I believe that she really had no idea what it was. She grew up Catholic in a small southern town and wasn't exposed to much outside of her little world. This one's funny, but it's so bad. So now not only had I sent a vibrator to my grandmother, but yeah, she'd also given it to my dad. I refused to call my dad. I was not ready to have that conversation. But about a week later, I got the package from my dad that contained the vibrator, and we never spoke of it. You think that would be the end of the story, but it's not. Remember when I called customer service to find out why I didn't get my package? They were very nice and sent out a replacement. Where did they send the replacement? To my grandmother. Oh my god. I never told them to change the address. At that point, I was too embarrassed to even ask anybody about it and tried to forget it ever happened. Cut to Christmas and my dad came to visit. He told me that he had something for me, so I went to the guest room with him. He hands me the package with the vibrator and says, please, for the love of God, stop sending vibrators to your grandmother. Yeah, the top comment, just start sending vibrators to your dad now. Yeah, does your dad feel like you're being funny by repeatedly sending vibrators to your grandma? Wow, that's a sentence I never thought I'd say. The way that your dad responded is so perfect. Please stop sending vibrators to your grandmother. She thinks they're cat toys, but she'll figure it out one day. Also, do you think she actually thought they were cat toys? Surely she didn't think they were cat toys. I'm sure it said somewhere on it what it was. Yeah, I wish I never read what I just read, but I'm also so happy that I did. That was so funny. The next one says, today I messed up by forgetting to mute myself during a virtual meeting and revealing my deep-seated hatred for office buzzwords. This happened approximately 36 minutes ago, and my embarrassment is fresher than the questionable sushi that I ate last night. I was in a virtual meeting with my boss and a few bigwigs from corporate. Okay, also the first time I've ever heard the term bigwig. Bigwig, a person who has an important or powerful position. First it was creamer and now it's this. Everybody was tossing around phrases like circle back, low-hanging fruit, synergy, and my personal favorite, make it pop. Little did I know that I was not muted. So while the rest of the team diligently nodded, I loudly muttered to my cat ironically, if I hear let's pivot one more time, I'm gonna pivot straight into another dimension. My boss went quiet, the bigwig from corporate started chuckling, and I realized that everybody had in fact heard my borderline meltdown. Everybody tried to play it off politely, but I'm pretty sure I just blacklisted myself from any future synergistic pivoting. Moral of the story, always double check the mute button, folks. Yeah, I feel like most people would definitely get sick of that sort of talking. And based on the fact that the person they were in the call with chuckled to what they said, they probably agreed with you too, OP. But my favorite and the most relatable part about this is the fact that you vent to your cat. I and a lot of people can relate to that. I talk to Jin and Nez all day, every day about everything. I pretend they understand what I'm saying because sometimes it definitely does seem like they do, but that's so relatable. Yeah, like this comment says, well played. I'm sure you weren't the only one feeling that way. The next one says, today I messed up by eating a week-old Chick-fil-A sandwich. I knew the risk, but it was convenient. That's not a good enough reason. Had been sitting in my fridge for a week. I figured at worst I'd get diarrhea, but lunch was lunch. About 2 bites in, I realized that the sandwich didn't even taste good. The pickles were totally dehydrated and were practically translucent. The chicken itself was looking grey. I didn't have to finish the sandwich, but I told myself it wouldn't be a big deal and to eat it anyway. Well, now I'm on the toilet. Like, you knew that it was a week old. The only way that it's ever acceptable to eat a week old sandwich is if it was a complete accident. You knew that it was a week old and you're like, oh, whatever. I'll eat it anyway. I'm pooping, but I have the trash can nearby so I can vomit at the same time. I don't know why I ate the sandwich. It was not worth it. I intentionally didn't tell my spouse that I was going to eat it because I know they'd tell me that it was a stupid idea. For some reason, I really wanted to see this through, so cheers. And do not eat old chicken sandwiches. Update, I got pretty concerned about my health. I saw my doctor and I'm good. I pooped and vomited everything out. Obviously, I shouldn't have eaten it. I did stop by Chick-fil-A after I left the doctor's office, but this time, I got the nuggets and a lemonade. I ate it fresh rather than leaving it on the counter for several hours and sticking it in the fridge for a week. Lesson learned. Not eating any more old food at all, ever, for any reason. Yeah, somebody in the comments commented a photo of Homer when he was eating that really old sandwich. That's the exact same as OP. That is so funny, and I sincerely hope that you have actually learnt your lesson, OP. Like, I am sorry that this happened to you, but also not, because it wasn't an accident. Yeah, that's enough, everybody. I hope you had a great time today. The wholesome meme of the day says, rewatching childhood cartoons, and me, a stressed 25-year-old. Yeah, it's so beautiful, isn't it? The Simpsons, SpongeBob. What's another cartoon? Why can I not think about any cartoons? Yeah, Adventure Time, The Simpsons, Fairly Odd Parents, Kim Possible, Tracy McBean. Oh my god, I used to watch that and I completely forgot. Angela Anaconda. Yeah, I have a faint memory of that as well. But yeah, watching old nostalgic cartoons is so good. The comment of the day today goes to Squish Defish 2043. Incredible username. Does anybody else miss the, and you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day, bit of the outro? Like, I know Vince's uploads aren't daily anymore, but I miss that cheeky little bit. Maybe saying every single time would work. I don't know, still a great time as always. Thank you, Vincey. You're welcome. Thank you for watching the videos. I appreciate your support. But yeah, I know, and it's been such a debacle because the thing about the, you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day, is that rhymed. So I have to try and find something that kind of rhymes as well. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I want to find something better to say too. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for the support, everybody. And also congratulations to Jin for staying here the whole episode. That's amazing. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode, everybody. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!